Yeah, like would you rather? Yeah, let's free up a day, free up a space. Let's talk about the truth the way we know it. Let's make a play. This our reality, okay? Okay. We out here with some savage beats, okay? If you want it, you can have a piece. Effort come with automatic peace. Just be careful if you slip, you know the ladder's grief, okay? Open discussion, who you loving, who you trusting? Is it lusting when you bustin'? Is you still crushing? Was it something, is it nothing? Did you cuddle? Did you up and grab your clutch and was befuddled? Do you still love him? Is your relationship 100, or is it 50-50? Do you be talking shit, or do you sit and listen? Are you a real friend or a transaction system? Listen, do you be copping flowers? Do you open doors? Is you looking for a real woman? Is you content with whores? Do you be on your money? Do you take care of your kids? Do you stand on your business, or do you wait on your chick? Let's talk about our mental health and protecting it. Yeah, let's talk about our mental health and protecting it.
Did y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so the thing is, I've noticed that we gotta be on the live to hear the intro. So anybody viewing the live, they can hear the intro. I still can't hear the intro though.
You can't?
Really?
Like if it's just me, you heard it?
Yeah, I
I
love
don't
that.
hear it. I can't hear it from my phone, my end on the live. But I went on your page and went to the live, and you can hear it then.
Alright.
I really like that.
What Yasmin at in the background?
Yeah, she finna come in.
Alright. Alright, so shit, let's go. We got three amigos
Go to the
over here. Miss Netta LaShine,
questions.
Miss
Hi
Brianna
everyone.
Rose, and Michelle Yasmin, wherever she at. Back in the background hiding. We got the lovely Doc, B Wise, Tianka B Wise.
Here she come.
Then
We
you
can
know I'm
pick
here.
from any of them.
I'm here
Hey
with
y'all.
hair everywhere. What's
Hi.
going on, Shawty?
Look at your three babies.
Three of them. It's three missing.
I gotta scoot it this way.
One of them probably punching the ceiling because she ain't here.
Okay.
All right, y'all in there? Hold on, I want to
Yeah.
see something.
I have Roger again, so with the sun.
Hold on, am I missing something?
I'm
I'm just gonna go with this right quick for now. All right, I'm gonna get right to it.
And that's what it's all about, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all tune in, y'all like, subscribe, drop in the comments. When's the last time you talked to your parents? When the last time you really sat down and had a conversation with them deep enough to try to get some of your underlying issues solved, or at least get some of the answers to your questions?
Mm.
All right, leave that right there. All right, all right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So we have.
Okay.
You gonna introduce the show? Who introducing the show, Mr. Tony?
All right,
Push it all the way close.
I'm trying to let them get set up over there.
Like when you sit down, you like in front of the
Go out.
So don't hear what?
Get out.
Yeah.
Push him in. Go.
Do it like
So,
this.
Ow.
excuse us. We got kids over here, so my apologies.
What's the Golden Girl's name? Rosie Blanche.
Don't do that.
That's the
Don't do
other one.
that. Don't do
I
that.
think we the Gross sisters.
The
Yeah,
Bro Sisters. That's
I take the Gross
crazy.
sisters.
Is that from the cartoon, the Penny Proud cartoon?
Yes, it
Yep.
is, and I'm
That's
the
crazy.
oldest.
That's
I was
crazy.
like, now, if I remember correctly, not the Gross sisters.
Nah, Bree
That's
Penny Proud over there. Bree ain't one of the Gross Sisters.
Oh
That's Penny
my.
Proud. All right, let's go, man. Let's get started. All right, anybody watching, let's go, man. If you got something going on in your life, if you're dealing with something, you know what I mean. Life ain't working. It ain't going the way you want it to go. You wanna fix it. You wanna if you could feel it, if you could see it, if you could hear it, and it ain't working, I advise you to fix it. Get to it like immediately. Get that shit out the way. You know what I mean, and try to make the best of whatever you got instead of just letting that shit linger, let it bother you, let it build up, and just let it destroy your life and destroy the lives of people around you because you can't get your shit right. Just get it together. It's my advice to the people, my advice to myself. I try to take it, I try to keep it, but life be life sometimes. So let's get into it. We got the doc here. We might need a mediator. You know what I
I got
mean? So
y'all.
we brought the doc. Let's go.
I got y'all.
Okay, so you want me to start?
Hey, let's go.
Okay, so since I'm the oldest, so what I want to say is today's podcast is mostly just about us getting to know our dad in ways that we might not know him, and him getting to know us in ways he might not know us, and figuring each other out. Um, we won't go too deep into our business because y'all don't know us like that, but we will get into like the dynamics of a father and daughter's relationship, at least our dynamic, because our dynamic is the only one we can talk about. But if y'all find anything in this conversation that y'all can relate to, and if y'all need help in certain spaces, I do advise y'all to get with y'all parents and have that conversation because it is very, very important too. So, with that being said, we have some questions written down, and we're not gonna ask too many because a lot of these questions is gonna have a big conversation in it. But I do want to start with understanding my dad's life. So when we're talking about understanding his life, the first question that I would ask is, um, what what was your childhood really like? What did you see? How was your parents parenting to you? What part of their parenting did you take into your own parenting?
Mm. What part of their parenting did I take into my own parent? Shit. None. Nothing.
Nothing?
Aggression.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Aggression.
aggression.
Nothing.
So
Well,
so
actually not. So my parents ain't aggressive. My mom or my pops, like, they had their moments, but they wasn't. My pops not aggressive. My pops like cool as fuck, like smooth. Now I had aggressive moments with him because I was an aggressive kid. Like my pops ain't never whooped nobody but me. I'm the only one he ever swung on or ever did anything to.
okay.
You know what's funny?
So that may have been something you learned. Maybe let's see. So
Yeah, so
whooping.
that's what I go through with Brito. So uh my mom's she wasn't aggressive. She wasn't an aggressive personality or aggressive character. She just got aggressive when the moments calls for her to be aggressive. But her regular everyday was like cool as hell. They was like two cool ass people.
So did they set clear boundaries? Did you have clear boundaries growing up?
No,
Okay, so no clear boundaries. Did you
no.
set did you set clear boundaries as a parent?
I try. I try. All right, y'all
It's
got to give me something.
you said okay. Let me start. You said more like rules
No.
and
Okay.
boundaries.
I
Yeah,
feel like what you get from Grandma Rose is if you don't care, you don't care. If you don't
you
have
said
to
more rules than
like
boundaries.
this, I feel like this is in your head. This is your world. You created this. It revolves around you sometimes. And if you don't care, you don't care. Like it don't matter. Like if we say, okay, we don't want to talk to you no more, you be like, all right, okay. Like it's not nothing to really care about to you sometimes. And y'all got that. Yeah. Like
So
it's
that's
easy for you to just like. I won't say it's easy for you because I do feel like when you say it to one of us, say like you into it with Tiana or Brianna, and like you tell them that like you okay whatever, and I ain't gonna talk to y'all whatever. Me and you will sit and have a conversation, and it'll be something different. And then like you don't really feel that way, but you don't know how to actually show them in that moment that you don't really feel that way when you should have just like stopped them in that moment and been like, I'm your dad. Like you ain't got no choice. Like or something, like tell us off, but not like put us off. Don't shut us out when you're upset. And I feel the same way. We shouldn't shut you out when we upset, but that's something we all have alike.
So do you feel like that was modeled? Do you feel like Mr. Tony that mom or dad responded like that?
no.
With the even if
Oh.
you seen them do it with each other, like that attitude of being like, well, okay, whatever,
So I say this
nonchalant.
with my mom and my pops, definitely nonchalant, but always been in it. Like with each other, like even after they wasn't together, they were still together type shit. So for me, like I say this, I grew up creating like a space of like survival. You know, everybody got their survival techniques and their survival mechanisms. You go through so much, you go through so much with so many different people, and then you get so many people turning their back on you in a time where you need them the most, to where you don't allow nobody turning their back on you to affect your life. And then that just like it plays out to everybody. It don't just play out in like a situation where I'm in the streets. It don't just play out into a situation where I'm at work. It plays out into my life where it don't matter who you are or what you got going on. Your actions or your reaction to me or how you feel about me, it don't really have no effect on me because I ain't stopping nothing that I'm doing, and I'm not being somebody that I'm not to appease nobody.
Okay, so pause. So that would be something that you learned. So indirectly, by not, so by having the feeling that people turn their back on you, and then witnessing your parents be nonchalant, you created a safe space, which is basically a wall of protection that allows um, you to not be impacted by things that people do.
Hmm.
Just know that that wall will separate and prevent connection because you have to feel the impact because that's how you let people know that you care about them. And I
No,
only know 'cause I had this. I had the same wall.
no, it ain't that. It ain't that I don't feel it. It's that I don't let it affect affect me. So it's so like look at this. In order to get to my age, I had to get here because a lot of people don't get here. Coming from where we coming from, a lot of people don't get here. So you learn things as you go. It ain't that I learned it from my mom or my dad. I learned it just from being the youngest out of my mom's tribe, right? Between my brothers and my sister and my mom, my pops, I'm the youngest. So I pick up shit from all of them. All of the information I pick up, information. I watch the way they move. I watch the way they do. The average thing that the average 9 year old wouldn't even think about right now. I was the average 18 year old when I was 9 years old wasn't thinking about the shit that I was thinking about at 9 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? Didn't have the information that I had.
So I'm just in the learning point. Just want to keep reiterating that it did. It does. The wall does impact you because what it does is prevent connection. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not what. So you say you feel it, but it doesn't impact you. But it impacts you because it's communicating to the people that the wall is in front of that you're not feeling it. You're not caring because you feel it, but you don't want them to know you feel it. So you nonchalant.
Because I don't want to feel it. So it's like it's a freedom because originally I would say I'm a free spirit type of person. I don't give a fuck. I'm transparent about the shit that's going on. I just don't care. So the hard part about being that kind of person, growing up that kind of person, is ultimately when we growing up where we grow up at, most people take advantage of that because they know it, you know what I mean, or they understand it. So as I'm getting older, the more I'm crashing into all these walls, you know what I mean, the more I'm falling, the more fuck ups that I make, and the more times, every time I fall on my ass, all the people around me, it ain't nobody to help me up or give me that hand to help me up. It feels more like people kicking dirt on me. It's like they happy
Mhm.
to see me down or they happy to see me fall. So nowadays, when you grow up and you survive that mentality and you survive those ideals, when you come up out of it, it's almost like you don't want nobody to actually feel like they seeing you fall or they seeing you fail or they can kick dirt on you type shit. So when shit get real or when shit get harsh, you know what I mean? You want to be always, I want to always be in a position where I'm the one that's kicking the dirt. It don't matter how it look or it don't matter how it feel. If I'm in the house by myself and I'm miserable, you know what I mean? I used to drink a lot, but when I drink, going through like a relationship shit with all my relationships, with all the people, you know what I mean? When I drink, I falls into a place where I worried about my relationships, so I'm concerned about my relationships, and I just be wanting to mend shit. I be wanting to fix shit. Some of that shit don't be needing to be fixed, or with some people it don't need to be mended. So I stop drinking. You know what I mean? If when I smoke, when I get high or whatever, I smoke some weed or whatever, I be high. I get emotional, so I'm thinking about
Cause
people.
cause you feeling all the stuff that you blocking with the walls, sir. Like ding.
Right?
So
You know what I
if you
mean?
allow yourself to feel stuff in the moment, it won't come out with a substance.
Yeah, but some
But
it's just
that's
the people.
important for your girls to know and hear because ladies.
We could hear you. We had paused.
Oh,
Uh,
My bad.
um,
Out the door.
your dad
Um,
just dropped a major tidbit on a defense mechanism that he picked up in childhood, which is important to know. Mm-mm.
oh my God.
The kids are active.
yeah.
This the most destructive we've been. I don't know.
What happened?
They keep on opening this door and then the alarm went off.
Um,
But
um,
y'all dad just talked about a defense mechanism that he picked up in childhood where he created a wall to help him to not feel so deeply about things that may be needing to be felt and then actually communicating to the person that may be in this moment with him that he don't give a fuck, but he actually does, but the wall is covering it up. And so one thing that may help if he's still doing that in a moment, you might need to remind him in this moment, if you see that wall going up, dad, right now I just need you to feel me. This ain't about your pride. This ain't about you. I just need you to feel me right now. Your wall is up. So now that you have revealed that, now this is a way to now work with him in a moment. And it's not overnight.
I think that's how we do work with him because he have revealed that to us. Well, at least to me, he revealed it. So I think that's why we work with him now because the old all of us would have been into it and probably not talking or not knowing how to basically come to terms and communicate and listen to each other. But now we know how to listen to each other and stuff like that. Like so, me and my dad haven't got into it in a long time, so I think I'm working with him. And I feel like that's my problem too. I have a wall, and my wall, I I don't like conflict. So I don't necessarily want to argue and I don't want to get into it. So it is a lot of things that I won't say and I won't bring up, and I'll allow my dad, mama. I feel like I allow everybody to say certain things and to feel how they feel, or even like because I felt the way when I do feel a way when in that moment if we do sit, because I'm just like my dad. I won't say nothing and I'll just be like, okay, whatever, and go about it or whatever. But I'll complain to my sisters and I'll cry to my sisters about the same exact thing. But I don't necessarily know how to come to him, so I'll just wait. And I feel like none of us know how to come to each other and just flat out apologize or say take the accountability for where we're wrong at in the situation. We all just like at some random point we'll just text one another, or we'll come to a family event, see each other. My dad will give us a hug or something. It's like, but it's never spoken on again.
It's unresolved.
Yeah, and it's like because we all trying to understand each other and understand that this wall might be up and my dad is like this and I'm like this, she's like this, she so it's like because we're all trying to understand each other, we all try to give each other that space, and when we come around, we just come around and it's like, okay, she's over it or he over it, like, and we just leave it at that. Nobody really want to talk about it because we don't really actually want to be into it. And it always creates an argument. And instead of arguing, it's like
Yeah.
just
I
leave
would
it
I would
alone.
I would challenge you, Dad, to as best as you can chip away at the wall. Um, just to offer better connection. It's never too late to heal. It's not easy. It's not overnight, but
So it's another part to where it's like sometimes when you dealing with like your people, like not the outside world, but when you're dealing with your own people, sometimes you got to be able to actually develop an understanding for the other people. You know what I mean? A lot of times you want to go into a conversation where it's like deal with this part on your end and deal with that part on your end, or you telling somebody else deal with this part on their end, or deal with that part on their end. Sometimes you got to just be able to have a understanding and be able to accept like this what I'm dealing with this person and this what I'm dealing with these people, or you know what I mean. So right, and I was talking about this earlier. Sometimes having an understanding helps. One of the problems that we have, all of us, is not being able to just have an understanding for the individuals, not just a look that's being looked at me, or just as individuals. Period. Brianna as Brianna, Antoinette as Antoinette, or Tiana as Tiana, because we all grew up in the circumstances where people judge you the worst when you don't move in the way that they move, or when you don't feel the way that they feel. So you get caught up in the what's the word I'm looking for? The peer pressure of like making a connection with people that you probably don't need to be making a connection with, or
so
being a part of a circumstance or a situation that you probably don't need to be a part of. And
so so yes, we so understanding goes two way, like it goes two ways in the sense of yes, we have to deal with people in a way we understand who they are. Like if I know somebody has anxiety, I know there are certain things I probably can't do with or around them just to not heighten it. But
mhm,
equally, that person with anxiety also has to work on managing that anxiety. Just because you have anxiety, don't mean that you need to be letting it run rampant on you.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So it's a two direction thing. Like, yes, I need to understand who you are and operate in that sense. You also have to understand who you are,
right. So
not
that
and not let it just run rampant. So
right. It's
yes, if you have a wall up, it's still equally best to understand that you have a defense mechanism wall up. And when you notice that wall kicking in, you yourself have to learn how to self check about it and be like, okay, maybe my wall is kind of guarding this moment right now. So
mhm,
maybe I need to allow. So learn how to operate who you are according to what you know about yourself so that it doesn't block connection. So yes,
right,
they can only do so much of operating with that understanding of who you are, but you equally have to operate on who you are and not let it just overrule.
right. So that's but that's what I'm saying, right? So I'm like I'm self-aware to a large degree. I understand the way I am. You know what I mean? I understand the reason that I am the way I am. But
That's
what I'm
only
saying,
part of it. You
but
also
but
have to
I'm
put action behind
yeah,
not allowing it to
but this what
dominate.
this what I'm saying. I'm talking about the group mentality that takes away the ability to have individual relationships with people because of the group mentality that says this is how it's supposed to be if you want to be a part of us. You know what I mean? This is a part of this is the way you want this is the way it's supposed to be. If you want this is how we feel. So I can sit here with Antoinette, Tiana, and Brianna, and I could break down like all of the differences in between them. I could break down the ways that I know that they really feel. So sometimes when you're a parent, right, and if you me, you read a lot just paying attention. Sometimes just shutting up. Because in most cases, if I'm around, I know they all probably notice, but I'm quiet. When I'm around people I don't trust, I'm quiet. You know what I mean? If I'm around somebody that I feel like I might have to hurt one day or that they might hurt me, I don't spend a whole lot of time talking and laughing and joking and trying to be a part of whatever it is. But when it come down to people and the people that I deal with, and especially my daughters, it's like if I have a conversation with Antoinette, I carry Antoinette the way Antoinette is, right? I deal with Antoinette based off of Antoinette personality, Antoinette character, Antoinette beliefs, Antoinette understanding of Antoinette. So when I deal with Tiana, I deal with Tiana based off who Tiana is, what Tiana believe in, what Tiana understand. If I'm
Right.
dealing with Brianna, it's the same thing. But when the conversation comes back, a lot of the times the conversation comes back as a group conversation that says, yo, it's a collective understanding. But a lot of times I already know the actual understanding because I already had individual conversations with all of them. And it's kind of like the outside point of view that creates the group idea that says this is what we believe in. This is our understanding. This is what kind of people that we are. You know what I mean? And I'm so much against that because I ain't like nobody else. I don't believe in what nobody tell me to believe. I don't see the world the way people tell me to see the world. I look at this shit the way I see it. Like I observe and I put it out the way I understand it. So just
And, s- and
go
some
ahead.
of
Go
that
ahead.
can come from I know I know what you're getting at. So some of that just can come from it's a different it's a sister bond that probably developed, of course, in childhood. So once they come back to you, it's coming back as a group because um, it's they sisters, and the way they may have experienced you together younger may still be impacting how they're seeing it now as adults. Instead of the individual way you're saying like, okay, this was individual to you, this was individual to you, this was individual to you, but you only one dad, and so it's like yes, and if they experienced you a certain way younger, it's gonna still feel like okay, here you go, like this is that.
Right.
So you want the individual kind of understanding back, is what you're saying.
Right.
Do y'all spend individual time together?
We have. Yeah.
Well, maybe more of that, so you can develop more of the individual.
Mostly me and Bree though. Mostly me and Bree. Mostly me and Bree spend a lot of time, like one-on-one time or just individual time, having conversations. But so another part of it is like they all just like me, and I feel like because they got a certain love for certain people outside of me, that me that's in them can be used and weaponized against me, type of situation.
Are we talking about family? Using it as
Yeah,
weapon?
yeah,
The other
because
parent
kind of, sorta, but
still
just
with the adult children to this day?
it's a lot of times it seems like an indirect manipulation that keeps me and them fighting because I have a million conversations with so altogether it's six. It's six. I got six daughters, right?
Okay,
And I got my own relationship with all six of them. And it's the same thing on the other side of it. It's like when I got an understanding I live with the understanding. I don't forget the understanding. You know what I mean? I don't walk away from it. I just stand right there where I stand. But when other situations unfold and the other people on the outside of it is hurt about something or feel humiliated or feel however they feel, it's easy to put those feelings on them and have them respond to the feelings that they feel based off things that don't really got nothing to do with them. And sometimes it's best, and it probably would be best right now if they were never a part of those situations or conversations.
So you
I'm
and
talking about all six. I'm talking about all six. Like, but yeah,
That's true. I feel like I take that into part of my parenting where when it's a adult conversation about the other parent, and I feel like we all took that in where it's like we don't necessarily want to speak about the adult things that we have going on with the other parent or in like period what we got going on because we don't want the kids having a feeling based off of our feeling because it's just like as a parent you want them to see for themselves and if they when they get there, when they have their opinions or when they feel a certain way, it's like I want my kid to feel like they can come to me about it based off of their experience, not based off of what I'm saying in front of them.
I think with me, it's just I'm not finna keep getting into it with my dad because I'm letting what him and my mom got going on like get there because me and my mom is close. Me and my dad was close once, but me and my mom close, and me and my mom real tight. And me and her bond, I let it get like when if her and my dad get into it, I don't like what he say to her. I let it get to me a lot, but now it's just like they got to deal with that themselves. I don't tell him nothing she's saying if she said something about him, and I don't tell her nothing that he's saying because it's just like
Like to mind my business.
they deal with each other how they deal with each other. I'm grown and I got my own kids, so I'm not gonna
yeah,
keep getting in between my mom and my daddy because I got my own drama.
Yeah, they can't
yeah.
be our kids forever.
but
So
So
yeah.
but
Because
it's another
it's
layer. It's another layer to that though too. Like so, the other layer is not their mom. It's some of the same forces, like that same ideology that they mom picked, that they mom had at some point. She got it from somewhere. And where she got it from, that person and those people also put that shit on them. Not
Oh
just
yeah, but they
not
can't
just
get to us now though.
yeah, but I'm saying it becomes like an institutional thought. So like just a while back, Bree was like 14. She came to stay with me. And her mom is being questioned. Why would you let her go stay with him? Like that's her dad, nigga. If if it's tough and I'm going through it and it's a hard fight for me to deal with by myself, I'm gonna send her to a motherfucking dad. That's what she got a dad for. You know what I mean? But it's the outside parties outside of their mom that's pressuring their mom to do things a certain way that reflects like you the mom, you the most important person. He ain't shit. He don't matter type of mentality. So
so
that's a mentality that they develop even outside of just their relationship with me. That's a mentality that they start to develop even with their own kids' fathers type of shit.
so then maybe there's some mediation that should happen between mom and I mean it may feel like oh it's long ago and we over it, but that it seems like it's an unhealed sore spot. And so what if it makes you insecure in your parents and your father and because in your mind you already assuming this how they coming at you, this how they viewing you, no matter even if they had their own independent thought about something, you
Uh-huh.
may automatically think it came from somewhere else just because
Yeah,
that's kind of the history. So
yeah,
that might need to be something that needs to be mediated
yeah.
between
That's
you and their
yeah,
mom
yeah. Not
because
not
that's
necessarily mom though. That's what I'm saying. Like
or
it
but
goes
if
over her head though.
but it is she's the closest to them in that sense because you half of them, she's the other half. So
Uh-huh.
it would have to kind of start with her so she can become aware that that type of stuff is going on, how it's impacting. You know what I'm saying? It might be worth it. That's just a tidbit
Yeah,
because
for sure. For sure.
um
So,
and if
so
you
before we go to the next thing, though, let's say this: sometimes when you like as a dad, a father with girls type of situation, it's the hardest shit in the world, right? It's the hardest fucking program in the world, and it's the hardest part of it is when you a father of coming from my situation, coming from my situation, and you look at your girls and you don't feel like your girls is your family. You feel like they're your kids, you know what I mean? But they not your family. So in a lot of conversations or a lot of back and forths and a lot of fights, then it's just more like, all right, so now we're gonna retreat to our family. You know what I mean? What's going on with you don't really matter when it's bad or when it's hard. We're gonna retreat to our family as a human with daughters, and you trying to teach and you trying to get them the information that you know they need because you know they move just like you move. You know they have, you know what their intentions be a lot because you have conversations and you see them in a position to crash or fall into this situation or fall into that situation, but you can't be heard because you caught up because it's almost like you fighting their whole family when just trying to get through to your own kids that a certain ideology, a certain idea, or a certain mindset. It's like you fighting the whole system, and that shit gets draining when it feels like you fighting the whole system, and the only thing you're trying to do is give your kids the information that you know they need to survive.
Well, maybe one of the questions will reveal where that stems from.
Let's go. Let's do it.
What was your biggest fear about raising us?
That I wouldn't. That I wouldn't. I ain't had no intentions on actually raising y'all. I thought I'd be dead by now. So I ain't had
Wow.
no, I ain't had no, when I was 17, 18, I was sure like the shit would be over with. So if I had the mindset, like I see a lot of the young, a lot of the younger niggas who I talk to, I'll be around, and everybody is like, yo, I'm gonna do everything I can for my babies right now because in my mind, it don't really matter. It's like if I come up on a lick and I come up on like $500 real quick, I go spend $300 on my babies. You know what I mean? And just try to survive off the two. If I come up on something big, I make a big play. I spend that shit towards my babies and then just keep surviving because ultimately, in my mind, this shit finna be over with. It. I do so much and I'm caught up in so much shit and there's so much shit going on around me. And when you outside and you're trying to survive, it's like the idea is that you either finna go to prison for the rest of your life or you finna get killed. You know what I mean? So
Mm. So that kept a certain level of disconnection.
right, because it's like, all right, this shit gonna end at some point anyway.
That's deep. That's
Hmm.
that's real deep.
I don't know how
Mm.
to respond to that. I'm
Okay.
glad you made it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause you cool.
uh,
Uh,
you want to do two this way and then two from there and then jump back here, or
Go ahead. Go ahead.
um, what
Actually,
family patterns did you hope to break?
mm,
Oh, that's a good one. Being a fuck nigga. Being a
say
fuck nigga. That's the shit that I be trying to break. That's the shit that I talk about a lot. That's the shit I talk about to y'all a lot. Just the way you choose and the people that you bring into your life and the people that you bring around your life and the way a lot of our lives get fucked up a lot of the time. People like us, right? People like us folk on here right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All y'all got a best friend right now. Y'all got one person who y'all rely on no matter what. All y'all got one person that y'all rely on. Not the same person, but all y'all got y'all individual person, right? Cache right now, she got her person. She 14. She got her that one person. Gigi, when she be around me, when she be on her little phone, right now she got her homie. She got her one person. Daytonia, if you talk to Daytonia, Daytonia got one person. Uh, the people that one person could be the absolute wrong person. You know what I mean? And that person could cost you your life. That person could cost you all your relationships. That person could cost you your future. The people that you're around can cost you your life. The people that you choose to be in a relationship with, the or have kids by, when you bring in the wrong person and you're a good person, a free spirited person, a person that's comfortable being happy, because I could say this about me: I'm comfortable being happy. The best place that I ever be in my life is when I'm actually happy. It don't necessarily matter. It's mostly around like-minded people that I can have these kind of conversations with, real conversations about real shit that I could brainstorm with, that I can, you know what I mean? I got one person right now, you know what I mean? I got that one person in my life, you know what I mean? So I don't know. If it's something that I could break, a cycle that I could break, you know what I mean, is feeling like becoming comfortable and embracing the wrong people and not just accepting. Like when you see a red flag in somebody, just accept that red flag means what the fuck it means. You know what I mean? If somebody show you who they are, just being able to accept that that's who the fuck they are.
So what's your definition of a fuck nigga? Like when you said that, where did you see that in your life that made you feel like I don't want to do that?
Man. And so in my life, I just do what I want to do.
No, I'm saying where did you see examples of a fuck nigga? Like
And me.
where?
Is what I'm saying. And me. I just do what
Oh,
I want. I just do what I want to do.
oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
I do what I
Okay,
want to do whenever I want to do it. I've been like
okay,
that since I was like, they call since I was like a baby, since my legs was working and I knew how to work my legs and I knew how to control my legs. My mom and my pops called me a runaway. So I've been on the move since I was a baby. I've been on the move. I do what I want to do.
okay.
It's hard as hell. It's hard as hell sometimes to deal with people. It's hard as hell sometimes to survive because my mind is set on Tony Rome mode all the time. So I got it. As of late, I deal with I so I got like, my mindset is like three people, right? My mindset is like three people, right? I got Tony Rome, I got Bonio, and then I just got Tony, right? And the way I deal with these three people is kind of like Bonio always been getting money, always had some money, always did well. Tony Rome always been a fuck nigga who just do whatever he want to do, from fighting to shootouts to fucking with other niggas, females, to just, if I want it and I feel like it's in my reach and I can have it, I'm getting it. It don't matter what it is. And that's when you one of those kind of people, a lot of times you attract those kind of people.
Sure.
And sometimes I know Bree just like me, right? That I think Antoinette got it in her own ways. I know Tiana just like me. And sometimes, like when you bring in like-minded people and they think people would think like they can relate to you or feel like they relating to you, and then they'll be trying to prove themselves to you. Now, if you a fuck nigga and you got control over your fuck nigga
Real
ways,
thing.
you know what I mean? And then now you got somebody around you that's trying to keep up with you and trying to prove to you that they tougher than you or they smarter than you
Ooh,
or they stronger
secret
than you.
Pete.
You know what I mean? That shit get crazy. That
Yeah.
shit get crazy. And it could become really, it could become detrimental to you. You know what I mean? So, you know, I say that like I'm saying, when I say that I'm trying to break the cycle, I'm just trying to break the cycle of being that way and bringing those kind of people into our lives, because we, all of us, I feel like we all this kind of way. We gonna die on the stake when it comes down to the people that we love and the people that we cherish and the people that we bring into our lives. So I can assure you, Tiana got a friend that she would absolutely throw her life away for. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like in a moment of, this is what I'm saying. In a moment of, we right here, this is what's going on, and if something happened to you, it have to happen to me.
Oh,
You know what I mean? It have to. I'm sure Brianna the same way. I'm sure Antoinette the same way. And if you can't, and in these moments when you can't control your feelings and when you can't control your emotions, and it's just like go, if you got the wrong person with you, they'll throw your ass away and slide right the fuck up out of there. You know what I mean?
I'm hearing a lot, but I want to get to a question. I'm gonna go back on that. Says, plus, when you have kids, daughters to be exact, you don't want them to run into no fuck niggas. So you got to change that mindset. You wouldn't want your daughters to attract them kind of men or people. Yep.
Exactly.
Um.
That's what I'm saying,
So
pretty much.
this is a question from you to your daughters. What's the time you felt most loved by your dad?
It's gonna make me cry, but when I was in the hospital giving birth to my son.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Uh,
what up, Tracy?
I could
Because
say from like up until we got into it. So that's like years. Cause we was talking a lot and we was together a lot. So like they try to make a gangster.
it was
But
spicy.
for real though.
We had
But the whole time, cause so we had it was one day where I don't know if I called him or he called me, but that was like we was on the phone for hours. Like it was our deepest conversation. We talked about everything, and we realized we was just a lot to the point where when we was talking about the little attitude stuff, like when he don't care, he really just don't care. I'm the same way. Like if you say F me, it's F you too, basically. Like so we could go a long time without talking for real, but it's them days where I need my dad, so I call him, and I know I need my dad. But I got a question for you too. Do you feel? Wait, let me let you say this.
uh,
I'm gonna let you say yours. I got a lot, but I feel like because at one point, I called my dad my best friend. Sometimes I still do, but like I don't. I think we used to be closer than what we are now. Like we cool, we close. We used to be really, really tight, and my dad would call me all the time. He'd text me, and like we'd sit on the phone for hours, like literally hours. And sometimes we still do that now, but I always knew I could call my dad at a point. It was a time where it's like I didn't feel like that, and like we had our differences and stuff like that. But when we was close, we was close. I ain't never feel like really unloved, but like when I felt most loved was when like we was always talking. He would call and we have deep conversations and be on the phone for hours.
nice. What was your question?
Okay. Kiki, go, 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 go. What? Oh my god. Do you feel like a child can teach their parent basically how to parent them?
Yes, ma'am. And that's funny because before, oh no, we weren't waiting on you. You were here. So yes, I think that's something that a lot of parents in general, and I'm gonna speak up for Black parents in overall. We need to understand
Go.
that we can learn from our children. We need to be open to learning from our children because one, our children are mirrors. So if there's something that we seeing, it's probably something that needs to be addressed. And so we have to be humble in that sense, but it takes a lot of humility to be able to do that. Um, because it's hard when your child is trying to instill something in you that's totally different from your own upbringing. And so if and I can speak from my generation and your dad I believe is older than me, and so we kids didn't have rights. We didn't have rights coming up. We couldn't express ourselves. We didn't really have a voice for real in a lot of households. It's not every household in our generation, but a
And I
lot of
feel like that's something both my parents took from their childhood and their parents because I don't feel like we had a voice a lot of
yep,
the times. And when we tried to have a voice, it was almost as if we was being disrespectful. Well,
yep,
they did take it like we being disrespectful when we just try and say how we feel. And I
yep,
feel like growing up, a lot of times our feelings is like pushed to the side because we
yep.
told like we don't basically we kids we don't have no feeling we getting taken care
You
of
you ain't
all
yeah.
of we
What you
got
you
this
you can't be
we do this
depressed.
and
What you
that for
depressed
you
for?
so like Yeah, so I feel like at some point
No.
we learn to like not say nothing. Like, what's the point? Because every time we speak up, we get shut down because you feel like you're the parent and this is how it's gonna go, and our feeling don't matter. I feel like as adults, maybe like a little bit more, but still in all like you don't necessarily, sometimes in certain arguments you don't really like to hear our point
Yep.
because it come
That's
off as disrespectful.
and that's something that we as black parents have to break a cycle on. I had to do that myself. I always, to a degree, try to give my kids some space to talk, but still, in all, like it was a point. And so, yes, kids are little humans. They come with all the same emotions. Their brains are not as developed as the parent. So yes, we don't think they know things, but kids are very smart. They are very, very brilliant beings. They see it all. They are learning from day one. And so we have to really understand that about child development, that our kids have a lot of information that they can share with us. I told you my I had a teenage daughter that told me I yell too much. You need to stop yelling. I don't like that. And I came from yelling, so I'm like, what's the problem with yelling? Like what's the big deal? But really, it hurt. And to this day, she don't play. Ain't nobody. She gonna be like, don't yell at me. My 7-year old, I still had some of them traits. My 7-year old, she's the most boisterous of all my kids because I'm older, I'm wiser, way more patient. But she will not tolerate any form of yelling and will check me. You're yelling. She literally looked at me one time. She'll cut that eye. You're yelling. And I have to check myself and be like, because kids don't feel safe with a yelling parent. It's fact. They don't feel safe. It's just as abusive as hitting them. And so that's not something we grew up understanding. But
That stops
yes,
the child from wanting to come to you about certain stuff, about
So
anything.
I'm gonna let y'all get done.
yeah,
So
okay.
that's the thing about that. Learning off your kids don't mean breaking yourself down to be who they tell you to be.
Mm, not who they tell us
Sometimes,
to be,
so
who
I
they
let y'all
need
finish.
us to be.
I let y'all go. Let me go. Let me go. This what I'm saying is when you're a kid and you're being raised and your people trying to teach you certain things. Sometimes it's cool. Like it's dope to learn off your kids. Like I learn off them. I listen to the conversations that we have and I plan around the conversations that we have. But it ain't changing me though. If the things I learn and the things that I accept that they put on me and that they give to me is like, all right, I got that. I'm gonna utilize it in the best way that I can utilize it when I can utilize it. But you're not gonna put it on me right now and alter the message that I'm trying to get through to you right now. A lot of times that's when it come, right? That's when the conversation of learning from your kids come is when they in some shit or when you teaching them something and you trying to walk them through a certain path or if you letting them know that this is what's on the other side of the fence. If you cross a certain line, you're gonna fall into this or you're gonna fall into that when you teach it. And now it's like, but yo, this ain't what's going on right now, or that ain't what's going on right now. And I feel like this and I feel like that. Sometimes that don't be the time to say all that shit. Sometimes you got to hear what your parent is saying to you when they saying it to you. And when you want your parents to learn something from you or learn something off of you, you got to be able to bring it to them in a respectable manner. You can't bring it to them as an adult. If you
So yelling, nobody hears anything when yelling is happening. The brain shuts down. So that's why I use yelling as an example.
uh,
Um, and I think we have to allow our kids space to express and voice things in a way that shows them that we do respect them, because respect goes both ways. We just because we the parent and we know things, our kids still have to learn some things. And we have to trust that, okay, I gave you information, you have to take it or leave it. If you choose not to listen, you're gonna bump your head. and we have to give them space to bump their head, because then now you got to come back, and now we got to run that conversation back again.
But that's for
Remember,
the
I
that's
told
for
you this. Now let's talk about it from a perspective of,
right.
now you fucked around and found out. So now let's talk about it again.
But that changes with the age range, right? That's an age range. That's a
No, I do not yell at my 7-year-old. Every them older kids,
yeah.
my oldest two, everything was yelling.
No, so let's
Everything.
let's look at this, right? With all of my adults, this is something that we go through and I get it. But like with my 10-year-old, I don't have to yell at her. I don't have to yell at her or
Why?
get sideways with her because she be listening. She her own person, you know what I mean? But she listen.
Or are
So,
you older?
huh?
Or are you just older?
No, this what I'm saying. With my 10-year-old is different than my oldest because she actually listen. She not every time it's a conversation where I'm trying to have with her, she's combative. So the conversation is kind of different because with these three that's on here right now, our relationship involves me going to prison. Our relationship involves me being in the street. Our relationship involves me and a mom fighting a lot, and they being right there to see it. So the combativeness in them is um almost like fighting with their mama sometimes when I'm trying to talk to them or when I'm trying to teach them something. It's like I'm fighting with their mom. It's not just okay, dad, this is what I'm going through, and I need to go through this, and I need to deal with that, and I need to. It's always when it's a conversation of me trying to say this or say that, then the combativeness come and we fighting back and forth. And in those situations, as a father, I ain't gonna never learn nothing from them because it always comes during the fight, right? But with the 10-year-old, she been around me a little bit more, and she been present. When I say this or when I say that, she go with it.
Did she, did
She not
she
combative. She not arguing.
did,
She not fighting back.
did she experience the prison version of you?
No,
Did she
absolutely not.
experience the street version of you?
Absolutely not.
Did she experience the fighting with the mom part of you?
A little bit of it. A little
So
bit, not
that's
a lot.
so there's a lot that she didn't. She has a different version of you than they did. So how she receives you is not going to be the same. And that's something I too have to understand. My 7-year-old absolutely adores me. I can tell.
Right.
She
Uh huh.
adores me. I had to earn adornment from my other ones because
Yeah.
I fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the same. Even the relationship is more based on uh, after the fact. They see my work. Whereas my youngest, she adores me because she gets a different version in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be the same feel. You have to have the relationship based on how they also received your parenting.
Right.
And so they got different version. If they got that prison shit, that street shit, that's an untapped topic in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Fathers going away, spending 10 years, then coming back and then want to put down some rules when you was just gone for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say to me? That's how the kid is going. They're going to be like, I don't, who are you to tell me, boy, what?
Right. So that's the thing, though. That's the point that I'm making. When you approach it like that, that's all you're gonna get back from your parent. Like you can't. You.
Well,
This what I'm gonna
uh,
say, right?
you have to humble
If
yourself. Remember we start so before we started live, you can't when I said when a person is here, when you go there, it's just gonna keep doing that.
uh,
But if they're here because you fucked up, you absolutely better come humble. You don't have the right to even come here. You gotta come humble because they only responding like that because you ain't even earned it. And I'm not saying, and I'm saying in general, I'm not attacking you as a parent or father to be like, use the
no,
word so they
I
can be right.
nah, I
You
get
know what I'm
what you're
saying?
saying,
It's more
but
like in that moment they need compassion and understanding to be like, okay, I understand you probably feeling that way because XYZ, but I'm telling you what I know based on my experience, baby girl.
right.
You got to
Right.
come humble to get the message across. You can't be defensive. The defensiveness ain't coming from how she coming. The
This
defensiveness
this
is
this,
coming from
this
the insecurity that you know.
right. This what I'm saying. This what I'm saying. If you when you a parent, right? When you a parent, if you approaching a situation where you're trying to teach something to one of your kids and they combative with you, you
Yeah.
don't it's you would
This
never now
this what I do.
some people I
This what I do.
imagine some people I imagine will humble themselves and just break that shit down and accept it. But if you humbling yourself and you breaking down and accepting it, and what your kid is giving you, you just accepting it, then you'll never be able to actually teach them, because every time you approach a situation, they're gonna give you their version of how they feel this shit should go. So if
No.
now I'm talking from experience. So when I separate the two, and I say, when I talk to the youngest and she comply, right? Because my dad, this is what my dad told me to do, so this is what I'm gonna do. So when the youngest say, Dad, this is what I need you to do, that's what I do. So if I'm having a conversation with Antoinette and I'm trying to break this down, that this is like, yo, what you want from me, you can have it, but you got to be able to accept what I'm offering you. If you can't accept what I'm offering you, then I don't have nothing for you. So it's kind of like it just becomes a constant back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because ultimately I'm still dad. So if what I'm offering you create a combative nature in you, I can't really learn nothing from you, because I'm not gonna accept it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's like if you got when you got mom and when you got dad, mom do things the way mom do it. But when you got dad, it ain't about like dad gonna do the things the way dad do it. He not gonna do it the way they dad do it. He not gonna do it the way they dad do it. It's a certain genetic that we have as individuals that come from me, that's in them. So I'm cool with everything that come in the way it come. It's just the same way you can say it's about how I come and my timing. It's the same way vice versa, because you still gotta maintain a line of respect. It don't mean don't say your mind. It don't mean don't say how you feel. I done been cursed at. I done been yelled at. I done been through all of that shit, and I've broken down a lot of my ways to try to like stop this shit from going overboard as far as us fighting and going back and forth. But you still gotta be able to accept what comes from me in this process. If you want me to accept what's coming from you, you still have to be able to accept what's coming from me throughout this process. But if it's always a fight, and every time I'm bringing something to the table, every time I'm putting something on the float, it's always a fight, a combativeness, because a lot of times, again, and Rosie just like spoke on it a little bit. Do the girls ever feel like Tony compares them to their mom? And sometimes I absolutely do, because the response that I get from them when I talk to them is the same response that I get from their mom. So if and this might sound crazy, but if you give me the exact same thing that she give me in these moments, all I have to give back is the exact same thing, because only thing I'm trying to do is get across this measure that I'm trying to get across. So every time I go into this situation, I'm actually with Bree, with Tiana, mostly. A lot of me and Tiana arguments is me arguing with her mama, 100%. A lot of me and Brianna arguments is her mama ways that I'm arguing with, but it's a lot of my ways. So
Mm.
it ain't me comparing them directly, saying, yo, Bree just like her mom. It's those moments when I'm trying to have a conversation and we trying to speak, and that's what she gives me. So that creates that it's a nonstop argument, because in a lot of these conversations and a lot of these back and forths, I'm not able to actually learn off of them, because the shit that they need to teach me, they not giving it to me at the right time. They're giving it to me as and being combative in what I'm saying in that moment of what I'm saying. So that's the time that I get that you need to pay attention to this, and you need to understand this, and you understand that. It's
So
almost like a defensive mechanism to not hear what I'm saying. And
so
it's a lot.
one thing I know for sure about um behavior in children is when usually when something is coming out in a combative form, there's feeling underneath that's not being said. And so really So when I have, because I mean, I have kids that I have some that are combative. um,
Mm-hmm.
I am not gonna prove my point. That's one thing I'm gonna let you do is bump your motherfucking head. I love it. Only because I know you gonna come back for the saving. And when you come back for the saving, we gonna run that conversation back.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm telling you something, I got spicy kid who they know it all. But I know some of that combativeness, here's where my humility comes from. Some of the combativeness when I'm trying to teach something is coming from a place of you didn't follow that. So who are you to tell me? See, kids will use our mistakes against us in that sense of being like, you didn't even follow that.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you to tell me that? So if I'm picking up that you don't want to listen because maybe you don't think I have the right to tell you that, my hands is off of it, baby. Do you?
Uh-huh.
I'm not about to prove a point. I don't have a point to prove. I can lead you to the water, to the well. I cannot make you drink. If you choose to be thirsty, be thirsty.
Right.
But if you come back to me for the saving, I'm gonna run a conversation back to you. I'm not just gonna save. You gonna get this lesson whether you want it or not.
Right.
But I'm gonna let you bump your motherfucking head since you don't want to listen. We don't have what we gotta stop doing as black parents, and I'm gonna keep saying black parents because I know it's black parents, god damn it. We can't control, especially the young adult kids. We gotta let them learn a little bit. Yes, we have to be confident that we did teach them some stuff. And when they need it, they are going to use it because it's there. But we gotta also let them go ahead and learn some shit. Because the best teacher is experience, baby. I'm not if you don't want to take it from me, I'm trying to tell you what I didn't know. If you
Uh-huh.
don't want to take it, well go learn that shit. It's gonna hurt, I promise you.
I
But I
mean,
tried
it be
to tell you.
sometimes
Go ahead,
definitely
internet.
it be fun. Like I'm not saying that it's a good thing,
Bumping your head.
but like no, not that part necessarily. The
I don't
experience,
like that.
like experience. But that's the thing, though. The experience that you had getting to that up into that point where you bumped your head, you was having fun.
Hmm.
You was having fun making those little decisions that you was making, even if they wasn't good ones. We did not make good decisions all the time, but we was having fun. Like, so we wasn't thinking about it. And I feel like a lot of times when how I'm trying to say it,
Gotta let them have a hard head and soft ass. We
how
do.
am I trying to
We gotta
say
let
this?
them.
Yeah, like I cause sometimes I be feeling like as my parents, regardless of if we had this conversation before and I went out and did it and thought that I could avoid some trouble, when I didn't avoid that trouble, I should be able to come to my parent and express that. Like I failed. I bumped myself. This wasn't what I thought it was gonna be like. It was cool while it lasted, but then everything went bad and I need my parent.
And hopefully in that conversation it's very humbly expressed that you were right.
All
You
right,
were right.
so
I should have
let's
listened.
let's get away from the general conversation and let's talk about us. Let's get back to the conversation of just a parent learning off of their kids and the ways that a parent can learn off of their kids. And I want to hear it from like y'all perspective. Like taking away the combativeness and taking away the constant bickering and arguing and fighting. What can y'all do in this situation to actually like teach that lesson? And what way can y'all actually offer to teach that lesson?
That's a hard question to answer right now.
Yeah.
Because I got to put more thought into it. Because honestly, I don't know right now. Because I'm still growing myself.
Yeah. I feel like when we say like I feel like it's more on a um teaching our parents how to
I think
treat.
now it's more. I'm just now learning from my parents, so I don't know what I can teach my parents or
Other than like,
because I'm still right now. I'm just now starting to learn from my parents. I'm just now starting to really talk to my parents and be comfortable with what I tell them and not hold back and stuff. And I'm learning from
and
each one. So
but I feel like in that sense, even though you
I
still
don't really know.
learning, that's them. That's also them learning from you how to handle
Yeah.
your feelings and how to handle you in those moments when you come to them and you talking to them. I feel like we learn from each other, not necessarily us just teaching our parents, but teaching them how we would like to be treated, how we would like to be dealt with. We don't want to be treated the way that y'all parents treated y'all. We don't want to be talked to in the same manner of how y'all once got talked to, and we don't want to be
Mhm.
disciplined in that same way that y'all was
Right.
because I don't feel like when I feel like y'all's level of discipline be like the same for everything we do. Like anything we get in trouble for, it's a major consequence. Like not just the yelling or the whoopings, or like it's always something major behind it, and it's like we getting talked to like we just like it, like we. I don't know how to. Y'all talk crazy, and it's just like when y'all get mad and y'all talking to us, and it's something that we did or y'all had to help us out of a situation. We don't want to be talked at. Like, don't talk at me. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. But if I can't say what I want because you're gonna feel like it's disrespectful or I shouldn't be responding at this moment, it's like now as an adult, like I'm finna be 30. I feel like when we having these conversations, if we gonna have them, we gonna have them, and I get to say how I feel in them because I am an adult, and like a lot of times I don't agree
A
with
lot of
what
I
y'all
see
say.
like I'm looking at the comments and a lot of people caping, but a lot of people don't really understand like us, right? Because a lot of people don't understand that me and Bree have had tons of conversations of this is what's up with me coming from Bree and me listening and me and Bree having conversations. I done had conversations with Tiana. This is what's up with me. It's it seemed like and this is what I be noticing a lot of times with a lot of people, right? A lot of people, a lot of women too, just don't want to accept men for men to be men. They telling us how to be men. Like this in these times, a lot of times when we dealing with what we dealing with as fathers, and you got daughters, we know because we men. Sometimes it sounds like yo, you coming off kind of harsh, or you coming off like it's coming off too tough, or it's coming off too rough. But sometimes it's like nigga, I know what's on the other side of that motherfucking curtain. And if I'm trying to explain it to you, you might bump your head. Cool, you might bump your head. But everybody that bump their head don't get to get
Yeah.
up from that motherfucking fall. Everybody that bump their head don't get to get up from that fall. And if you're a parent and if you got compassion and you just teaching or you talking to one of your kids, sometimes no matter what you feel or no matter what you're thinking about your parent, sometimes in these moments, as a child that's with your mom or your father, the sometimes the thing is no matter how people judging it or no matter how nobody looking at you, sometimes the thing to do is shut the fuck up and listen. That's just the reality. Just listen, hear what you need to hear, and then if you don't like it, you don't like it. You know what I mean? If you might take one thing from what's being said by your mom, or you might take one thing of something that's being. Your dad might have a whole soliloquy of shit. Me, I might have a whole soliloquy of shit that I say, and you might only take one thing from what I said. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? But listen while I'm talking. Don't treat me like I'm trash, or don't treat me like I'm a sucker, or don't treat me like I'm beneath you because you don't want to hear what I say or you don't agree with what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to actually be able to listen to your parent when your parent talking to you. Now, when you got something on your mind or you want to address something, then you address it, you deal with it, you say it. I done told Tiana a million times, yo, say what's on your mind, bro. Say what's on your heart. Let me get that shit. Let me hear it so I can deal with it. But if it's something going on and you keeping it and you waiting until I approach a situation because I have an issue with it. We talk about this a lot on the podcast, internet. If you got something on your mind and you don't give it to me, and then when I see something or I see a flaw in something that's going on with you as my kid and I approach it, now here you come with all your shit that you got on your mind and you got on your heart and you using it to discredit what I'm saying. That ain't how the parent and child thing go. You gotta have you got it still got to be a line of respect that says, all right, I'm finna hear what you're saying, but you got to be able to hear me too. And that's the whole thing. We got to be able to hear each other. It ain't no judging my dad and saying, yo, you got to understand, or you a man and men don't understand. And you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to be able to listen and hear what's being said to you. And then you could be able to get what you got to say off. And sometimes you got to be able to approach the conversation
And,
also.
and we as parents have to also accept that they don't want to listen. Like yes, it's absolutely the smartest thing to do is listen to your parents. Yeah, in a perfect world. But as
Mm-hmm.
a parent, if they don't listen, we also have to learn how to take that control off and let them bump their heads. Yes, we understand that some people don't come back from bumping their heads. That is called a natural consequence. But our job is to always give them the information and the tools. If we never give them the tools, they don't have it. If we never give them the information, they don't have it. We give them the information, we give them the tools. We have to trust that they're going to use it. If they decide, you know what, I heard them, but I'm still going to go left. Guess what? When they go left and they stub that damn pinky toe, they got to come back. They got to limp back and say, you know what? I did that. And then that's the time to then say, okay, what did you learn? How does this feel that you in this situation? And now look what we have to do a bailout now. So it's still a time, even if they don't listen in the time you've given them the information, at some point they got to. So all I'm saying, I'm not saying men can't be men. That has nothing to do with it. It's not a gender
It,
thing.
now it is because a lot of it is, I think, like in 90% of the cases, all y'all agree.
I'm pretty tough.
All y'all agree.
I,
But when
I'm
when
telling
when, when
you,
you
as a mother, I had to humble myself.
yeah,
I'm probably tougher than most fathers. I was the
nah.
strictest fucker I
Well,
knew.
what I'm telling you is I've had to humble myself too. But it's everybody kids is not working from the same kit. Like every conversation ain't the same conversation. Every lifestyle ain't the same lifestyle. A lot of times, you got mom and you got dad, right? These are your two people. Like this is your source of people that you want to be there for you no matter what. These two people, no matter what. This ain't auntie such and such. This ain't uncle such and such. You know what I mean? You want your mom and dad to be there with you no matter what. A
Right.
lot of the times, I can assure you everything that you said, they mom can agree with it. I can assure you that all my kids' mom can agree with everything that you say. But sometimes the masculine part of having a dad, right? Because your dad is masculine, because your dad grew up a certain way, because your dad come from certain shit, he not gonna do it the way everybody say this is the way you're supposed to do it. This your dad, right? If you break your dad down to be just like everybody else and to give you the exact same script that everybody else give, why do you need him? Just to be there to give you what you want when you ask for it? That's not a dad, right? So if we got to
It's
be
gonna have
able
to,
to
it's gonna have to
accept,
be
we got to
separate topic.
yeah, because sometimes you got to be able to accept that this person is this person, right? Some of these things they get broken more because that line of respect where you just say this is the way it's supposed to be, this is the way it should be. And it's hard for a lot of people to accept having a dad standing there saying, no, this is the way it is. So now whatever back and forth that we finna have, we gonna have our back and forth. Whatever conversations that we gonna have our conversations. But it's hard for a lot of people to accept dad saying, no, this is what it is.
I mean, you can
Bottom
do it
line.
all day, Dad. It just mean they gonna sneak. Like, let's be so for real. This is not about gender. This is about human development, child development, psychology. Raising kids is psychology. It's child development. It's the way the brain develops. I mean, I can get off deep into all of that, but all I'm saying is you can be as tough. You can deliver it how you want. At the end of the day, that kid gonna do what that kid wanna do, whether it's in your face or behind your back. And so you can
Right.
have a connection with them enough for them to trust when they fucked up, they bring it back to you. Or you can be so tough as a goddamn parent, they don't tell you shit.
Because they can't. Because they can't. Because that
That's on
line of
you.
that. Because that line of disrespect. That line of disrespect says, "All right." So, because the topic is learning from your kids, right? That's what we're talking about right now. Learning from your kids. And the point that I'm making is, you can't learn nothing as a parent if you can't teach as a parent, right? Some people have they lines where we can do this and we can do that and we can have these conversations. In some situations, and I'm talking about me and my girls, in 80% up to today of our situations, don't nothing get across because every time something is put on the floor, it's an argument and it's combativeness that says, no, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. There's no way possible that as me as a parent that I'm going to be able to stop and actually hear what they're saying. If me, the person that brought them into the world, every time I try to get them a jewel or get them something that help them in their life, they're combative, and they're going against that. There's nothing I could offer. So if I'm less than a man, you actually lose your father entirely. So I'm not speaking for all girls, and I'm not speaking for all dads, and I'm not speaking for all situations. I'm speaking for going through a situation where 80 to 90% of the time your kids are not listening and they're combative because they're just like you and they only want to do what they want to do, type of thing.
They are listening. I promise you. The information is getting to them. I promise you. The combativeness is partly kids are egocentric. It is their world. That is that is psychology. They don't have the high level of thinking that adults do. Your brain is not fully developed until 25. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have high process thinking. They are emotional, they are egocentric and self-centered. So yes, it is their world. So the learning part is understanding that and operating from that perspective, and understanding that my job is to give you the information. Your job is to take it or leave it. Just understand that if you take it, you probably gonna do good. That's not even a guarantee. They can do all the things right. Shit still gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or you can leave it. You don't take it, but guess what? Shit gonna be real hard for you. That's my job as a parent, is to give you the information, give you the guidance. You take it or leave it, baby girl. But if you leave it, that shit is on you. I did my part. I'm not about to control no young adult. That is too much energy, baby. I still got my own life. I'm not trying to control you. But
No,
when you
we're
bump
not talking
your head,
about we not
I'm gonna
we're
be
not
right
talking
here.
about yeah, we're not talking about controlling young
I'm saying
adults. We talking
expecting them to take the information and listen. They are listening. They got it. I promise you, they got it. They heard it.
no,
But
no,
when it's time to use it, it's gonna be right in
no,
their toolbox. That means you did your job.
no, no. I,
Okay.
I think it's like a deeper conversation that need to be had. I want to hear from them though, because it's I don't know. It seemed too general. Like it seemed like the conversation that we having amongst us is being generalized, and we not being able to actually have a conversation about us right now. A lot of people, I get it, people involved in it and people listening, and we talking to live, but we kind of talking about us. We're not talking about the general nature of a father and a daughter, because every father and daughter relationship is not the same. Every conversation is not the same. Every back and forth is not the same. And the actions of everybody kids and the actions of the man that raised you and who he represents and who he is not the same. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to get back to the conversation of us though, and not just a general conversation where we are being put in the same box with everybody else.
Well, there are more questions. So if one of
Let's
the
go.
ladies want to shoot another question.
What do you wish more people understood about
About me,
you? Yeah.
uh, that I'm a diehard. That a lot of times this something, and it's a real thing. Like I listen to a lot of conversations. I listen to a lot of what people say, and I live in this world, right? And and as much as like the attacks be on what I represent or what somebody think I feel or what somebody think I believe, I'm a diehard, right? So if I'm willing to sacrifice my life for somebody, if I'm willing to put my everything that I represent on the line for somebody else to be safe, for somebody else to be cool, for somebody else to be all right, for somebody else to have wealth, when I'm talking or when I'm speaking or when I'm trying to get through or when I'm trying to have an understanding. So I just want a person to understand me for who I am. All I want from that person is to just be able to listen and give like honest feedback and not a combative like, yo, well, you should be like this, or you should think like this, or you should feel like this, or you should act like that. Because, and I was just talking about this too. I seen a post, and this dude said, "I learned how to be a man all of yesterday. I learned what it is to be a man all of yesterday, right?" And what he say he learned about being a man is ain't nobody really in this world, too many people, right? And I feel like outside of my mama and my brothers, it ain't too many people in this world that actually love me for who I am and not what I offer, right? Most of the people outside of my mom and my brothers, almost everybody in my life is something that I give to them. It's something that I offer to them. It's some level of potential that I have that makes them want to be around me. It's nothing is just because, yo, that's Tony. You know what I mean? So that's I guess that's it for me, for real.
Okay, that makes, yeah, just to be understood and seen for who you are.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't feel good to be chastised for who you are, and yeah. Well, more listening, less talking when the lesson is being put down. That's what I'm hearing from
Hmm.
Mr. Tony. Don't challenge it, don't combat it. Take note and
But I'm
process.
talking I'm talking about when it come down to me. Like I'm throughout all of this, I ain't never told them who to be. Y'all feel like I be like telling y'all who to be?
No.
I ain't never try to control their lives. I ain't never try to get into their shit and like move their shit or mobilize their shit in a way that I feel like it should work. I offer the advice that I offer, but nah, I always been supportive of all of them, even with shit that I don't like. Like I can point out a million things as a dad that I just don't fuck with, but I'm gonna support them regardless, no matter how that shit work. So
Okay. Um, what's a moment that still sticks?
Huh? Say that again.
Um, so what's a moment that still sticks?
Mm, I can say a recent moment his birthday last year. We all was together. And our other sister was down there. That was good. I'll say that one. That one. And when he came to the hospital when I was giving birth, but I didn't know he was coming.
Hmm?
I didn't know who called him or how he knew to come, but I think just waking up and he had was walking in, so I feel like that's something that I wouldn't forget. And then I had to have a C-section, and I wasn't able to call my dad. So I don't even remember who called him to let him know that I was gonna have a C-section. I just remember when I came out from my C-section, I made it to my room. My dad was the second person I had seen outside of the doctor that had handed me my baby. And I was
Mm,
so shaky, I didn't
nice.
know, but that's a moment I won't forget.
All right. We're the third musketeer.
He had to run out.
Put the baby down.
No, one of the kids was crying.
Oh, got
It's
it.
probably the same one from real life. Because it's kind of
Okay.
similar.
Was there?
I would say, yeah, I, I would say it was probably that for her. Because that is kind of similar to the last one. The hospital. Him
Okay,
coming.
I got one out of here. I don't know if y'all was gonna ask me this or exactly, but I'm gonna ask this question to y'all. What's something you've always wanted me to know?
What's something we wanted to know? Um, I don't know, because I kind of like, once we got close, I was an open book. So I really I didn't tell him that. I think there
Maybe
was
that was a
something
better
you always
question.
wanted him to know.
I don't know. We talking. We be pretty open. That's what I'm saying. Like we talk about everything, so it's like I don't know.
What you got, internet?
I don't know, because it's the same. We talk. So, and I'll be open. I pretty much tell you everything that be going on with me.
He definitely know what's going on with me.
um,
That's why this kind of dope.
I could say, I could say, I don't know if you know this or not. But once I was able to write you letters on my own, and I was able to read your letters, when you would send letters and you would send like poems and stuff like that, that made me want to start writing. So then I start trying to like not be like you, but like I always, anytime anybody asks me like where that came from or why, or I express why I like to write and stuff like that, I always say it was like because of you. I don't know if you knew
That's
that.
what Gigi do that, and Daytonia. Daytonia like writing too. She keep it to herself, but she like writing. Daytonia like writing. I mean, Gigi like writing too.
That's how I express my feelings.
Now that's kind of dope though, because just piggybacking off of the conversation that we was just having about learning from your kids and all this. I really wish in some of these conversations y'all would just speak up, y'all three in the background, and assist me a little bit because I'm being attacked over here.
What you mean?
Man,
Attack.
I'm just reading this chat line, man, and I'm being
Oh,
attacked
okay,
for my
okay. You were
views,
okay.
bro.
So, because I'm not gonna lie, some of the questions that was asked, it wasn't kind of like related to the topic that we're on. So I didn't want to kind of answer them, but I can't answer the question that was asked. They said something about your relationship. What? How do we feel about your relationships and your relationship with our mom? I feel like your relationship, like being older now, your relationship is like none of my business. I don't really care about the relationship that you have with another female, and the relationship with our moms. Well, our mom, because we got the same mom. So, it's cool. I feel like it's boundaries with a lot, and it's respectful. So, it's not really a problem there. A lot. I don't know. Okay, so with some people, I feel like some people look at daughters and dads and feel like, oh, if the dad haven't been around, it's gonna mess up the daughter life completely. And I feel like with my dad now, like as being young when he first got out, it was a lot to where it's like, okay, yeah, I feel like you overstepping because you ain't been around. But then being like basically growing up and having my own child, I feel like a lot of stuff was like, oh, you're my parent. I gotta respect it. Like, even though you wasn't around to do a lot of things,
I can't downgrade the way that you was taught and how you're being a parent a lot of times. But I feel like it was because when he had got out, my mom had was we was done with the whippings, we was done with a lot of discipline. So it was like we was able to voice ourselves a lot around this time. But then when my dad came home, it's like, oh, now we back to where basically we being parent, we can't do a lot of things basically, and we was limited. I feel like we was limited because my dad was home, and that's what kind of forced me to be distanced because it's like, okay, you don't even know me. Like I feel like why you acting like that towards me and why, but it's like I don't. He didn't know a lot of things that was going on. He don't like I don't know. It's something that we had to learn, and now that we older and I grew close with my dad. We talk a lot, even though we be, clashing, we get into it sometimes. I feel like he talked to us a lot. So it's nothing that we hide from each other. It's nothing we don't know. And, and yeah, I don't know. A lot of other people it might be different, but we don't I don't know. We don't have a relationship to where it's like, oh, we gonna hate each other forever or something like that. We do got that attitude where it's like if it's F me, it's F you, and we ain't gonna talk, but then that's my dad, so if I need to call him, I'm gonna call him. And I don't care if we into it.
Yeah, if we end up in the same place, somebody end up speaking to somebody.
Yeah.
But that's why I said like it's a lot of like nobody really apologizes. We just see each other and speak to each other.
We gotta work on that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Nobody.
I think I probably only apologized like once, and that's when I threw the tree, and I had to apologize because that was wrong.
So
I
a
had
lot of
to.
a lot of times the problem with us be nobody apologized because nobody ever accept the fact that they was wrong. You know what I mean? You want to feel like the last argument that if I want to say Brianna was wrong, Brianna's like you was wrong. That it ain't gonna come to a head in the conversation because in order for it to come to a head, I gotta accept that I'm wrong and she gotta accept that she wrong, which I believe we kind of did, but in most situations we don't. It's just like I'm right, so that's just where it go.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Go ahead.
I feel like you know how when you draw the number six on the ground, and from your side it might be a six, from my side it's a nine, and we both
Mhm.
arguing about that, but we both
Yeah,
right. I
yeah,
feel like you're right sometimes, and I'm right. And when I'm saying apologize, we don't have to apologize for what we said. It's how we said it. I apologize. I didn't have to come off like that, or but this is how
yeah.
I feel, and I'm okay with that. But that's still a way of apologizing. You don't have to say you was wrong because what you said was probably not wrong. It's the way it was addressed.
Right. A lot of this is a question I want to ask. I want to ask you too, Tianka. A lot of times, like when you care about people and when you love people, why is there so many restraints with the people that you love and how you deal with situations that's hurtful to you or that you feel like is neglectful to you? If you're a parent talking to your kid, or if you're a kid talking to your parent, like if I'm mad right now about something that I feel or something that happened or something that went wrong, why can't I address it in that way? Not yelling or screaming, but why can't I address it in a way that lets you know this shit really pissed me off and I feel a way about it? And why can't they address it in that way? Because a lot of people say it's the way you approach it, or and it decides how you deal with it.
Well, a lot of times we are what we how we were raised, and so we come with that as the foundation. And so to do things differently, you literally have to actively study and learn how to do it and then put it into practice. Some people from childhood learn how to resolve conflict, like they may have been shown positive
Mm-hmm.
ways in doing that, so then they will model that. If you
Right.
didn't have that, that is not what you're going to do. It's not going to be your default. You have to read and you have to study, you have to figure out how to do it, and then you have to practice it. So the default is going to be whatever we seen in childhood. So we seen people
Mm-hmm.
rah rah, we gonna rah rah.
Okay, this is the thing. You gotta learn to. You really have to learn how to talk to people because we all gotta learn this. But this is the thing. So if you came to me and you'd be like,
Brianna, I feel like you need to, with a calm voice and you talk to me, it's gonna make me want to listen. But then when you come to me, I feel like you need to do. I don't want to listen to that. I feel like you coming at me. I feel like you disrespecting me. I'm old enough to walk away from this conversation. I don't have to take that from you at all.
Right.
And in your mind, you feel like you my parents, so what you say goes off back. And now that's messing up the relationship. I don't, now I don't want to be around you. Now I don't really want to talk to you because now I feel like you coming at me with anger instead of actually sitting down and talking to me and having a cool conversation. And that's like, it's literally the ways, it's literally how you talk. If you come to me with anger, it's going to make me angry. And now we're arguing. Instead of you basically telling me how you feel and me being able to address how I feel back.
Even using the words, telling people like Tony said earlier, telling people how to be, like you should do this or you should do that or you should be this way, should that will automatically make somebody shut down too. Instead of, like you said, coming and using I statements. Like I noticed that, I noticed that when we were speaking about something, like you rolled your eyes. What was that about? Did that make you feel some type of way? If you addressing stuff with curiosity,
Who, me?
no, in
No,
general, I'm
she
saying
just
like
said it.
I'm using an
Oh,
example
I was going to say, I
approach.
probably did that's what it is
Oh
too.
no, no. I'm saying like approaching it in a way of like not saying, "Oh, you should have did
Yeah,
this, you should have did that." It's more like I noticed when we were speaking, you rolled your
Mhm.
eyes. Did I say something that, like, what did you feel in that moment? What were you thinking that made you roll your eyes? Like having curiosity will make somebody pause and think, like, what was I feeling? Like, why did I roll my eyes? And then you have to have a discussion versus saying, "Why the fuck you rolling your eyes?" It ain't gonna go nowhere.
right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think I think with them, I think with all of us, right? And I think it's like that with me too. I don't think you can approach that conversation at all sometimes, right? It's like you can approach it the harsh way or you can approach it the calm way, right? The calm way gets you the same reaction. If we're talking about Brianna, right? Both ways that you said that can trigger her.
Mm.
It don't matter if you come cool, calm and collective, or if you on full attack mode. If she don't like what you saying and that trigger get pulled, then she going where she going. I think it's the same way for all three of them actually. It ain't about. Sometimes it don't be about the way you say it. Sometimes it's just they don't want to hear what you got
Mm.
to say
That's
at that
tidbit,
at that
y'all.
time and at that moment.
It be the time.
It's the time and the place.
It's the time and the place. If we cool, give me when I'm happy.
I don't know.
Talk to me when I'm cool. But if you know for a fact, oh, she going through something, she already going through something, she got all this going on, and she trying to figure this out. Don't come to me and think you're gonna have a conversation to me at all. I'm not gonna talk to you.
Not right then.
And I'm not gonna come off in a nice way. You have to give me when I'm happy. When you want to address something and have a real conversation, that's the only time.
So maybe a
But not if
pre-warning.
it's gonna make me, it's gonna drain me and take my happiness.
It's gonna be another
No,
thing.
like not even that. Like just I just feel like as my dad, you should know exactly when to talk, but sometimes it come off wrong.
No,
Like
so that's the thing. I do know there is no time. If you gotta
Exactly.
Y'all gotta work on that.
right, that's what I'm saying. There is no time. We've been going through this shit since they was alive. Shit. It's
Not a lot out the
it's
womb.
so I got all my different situations. Bree is actually the easiest for me to talk to about anything. So if Bree react in the fucked up way to something that I'm saying, it makes me react in a fucked up way automatically. Because why the fuck is you acting like this? With Tiana, it's kind of like depending on the subject matter, you can't approach it at all. It ain't no time to approach it because she got like a quick trigger where she gonna go into her zone. Where Antoinette is like it's like a soft side where you say something to her and when she started talking, you could see it in her eyes like that it's fucking with her feelings. You know what I
You a
mean? Like
Pisces, Internet?
Me? No, I'm a
You
Leo.
oh right. Okay, got you. Gotcha.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's kind of like I know when to say something to him, and it's basically never when it comes to certain situations. The
You
only
gotta
one
work.
that you could really approach, the only one I could really approach is Brianna and Daytonia. Brianna listen, Brianna talk because Brianna like her mind be working. Like Brianna mind work like mine. So her shit be on like full, like her shit be on full speed ahead. So
I'm a
when you
debater. I'm up for a
right,
conversation all the time.
basically, right? So you know what I mean? It's she gonna pick through it and she like picking through it. So it helps to have a conversation with somebody that's actually like me because I like picking through it. So it's easy. I'm the easiest person in the world to have a conversation with. You know what I mean? But then Antoinette has no control over her emotions. None. She go from 0 to 1,000, like right in your face without even using words, and you be like,
Dang.
so now it's like she gets fragile. So as a dad, I don't want to cross that line and say something that's really gonna hurt her feelings. So I have like 1,000 years of built up motherfuck yous that I want to say to her, but I can't
Oh,
never
your
say it.
ass is
You know what I mean? Tiana is like her. She got the same trigger that Antoinette got, but she don't hold it in a way where she fragile. She give it back to you like in attack mode. So it's like it's up for the fight. Fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean?
mm,
Daytonia on the other end, Daytonia is kind of like Daytonia and Brianna is a lot alike. So as long as I get Daytonia by herself, we can have a million conversations. My only problem with Daytonia sometimes is I always find out later that the shit that she was giving me, she don't really like. It's another side of it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't. It don't feel like it was the truth because now she mad at me, and she
mm,
just spent everything I said and made it into a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? When I'm thinking all the shit that we talk about, we 100% on the same page. You know what I mean?
mm.
Um,
Fair.
Cache, I haven't really got to that point with Cache. Cache, like my G man. That's Cache is like a gang member to me. She like tough as fucking nails. You know what I mean? When I kick it with her, the times that I spend around her, she like tough as nails. So I'm completely comfortable with her in a way where I could really just sit down and kick it with her. You know what I mean? We got our little situation right now, but she just tough as nails. My baby Gigi is like Gigi is a lot like Antoinette. She don't want to hear nothing hurtful. She don't want to. You can't raise your voice too loud towards it. She go into that emotional mode where I watched the kid one day. She had some words with a kid outside, and she like at the door pacing and shit. She's angry as fuck, and I never seen that as angry. I never seen that as mad. You know what I mean? I mean, her mom is standing there like, man, what's going on? What's going on? And when she went to explain it, she just exploded. You know what I mean? Like she was holding it in, waiting to let that shit go. But when I guess it's like that shit in her head just told her, like, you know what? Fuck it. And when she started to explain it, she just exploded type shit. You know what I mean? So I had to sit down and talk to her, you know what I mean? Like, and then let her know the same way. I had conversations with all of them the same way. Like, it's cool to explode sometimes. It's cool to let that shit go. You know what I mean? And if you feel threatened or if you feel violated, you can explode while you slapping the shit out somebody. You know what I mean? Give it to it all at the same time. You know what I mean? It's that shit just be what it be. You know what I mean? Is so when for real, like me talking to them and me talking to them like outside and out loud for everybody to hear it, we ain't normal. We ain't normal and we ain't simple. You know what I mean? Because I've been through my side of life, but because of my side of life that I've been through, unfortunately, they had to go through portions of their side of life without me. And the main focus for me having these conversations and being able to at least attempt is so that they kids don't have to go through the portions of life that we went through on the back end. You know what I mean? Even though right now it's a little bit of it already going on. So we just trying to get to my main focus is like this my state that I'm talking to, right? And I would love to have Daytonia in this conversation. I love to have Cache and G in this conversation because this is my state. You know what I mean? It's six of them. You know what I mean? It's 8 grandkids, and it's like this my world. It is, and prior to what Bree was saying, this is my world. You know what I mean? Like this, this my world, this my setup. You know what I mean? This my estate. So I kind of wanted, I want the balance of just understanding, because that's all it's about for me, is just being able to, everybody to just be able to understand each other, type of thing. If that make any sense.
Yeah,
Mm.
I can
Well,
understand what you're saying.
Y'all got anything else?
No, not me.
I got I got another one I'm finna ask. I don't know if it's for me or for y'all, but I'm finna let me see. Is there anything that I need to apologize for?
Yes,
Let's go.
I feel like you ruined my baby birthday. And I felt like the conversation that was had that day, it was one of those, okay, not at the moment conversation, like this is something that could be talked about, but not at the moment. And I feel like
Hmm?
the way you came
Yeah,
at
we
it, the
going there.
approach, you could apologize for that.
So, right, I get what you're saying, right? And I'm gonna apologize, right? Because of the way the shit happened and because of the way the shit went. But I do want you to understand something, like in these moments. When you a parent and you want what's best for your baby, or you want what's best for your, a lot of times we make decisions based off how we feel in a moment, and we're not
I
thinking
don't,
about,
Tony. I do not want
huh?
to. I don't want to interrupt, and I don't want to cut you
Yeah.
off. But I was told by a man
Uh-huh.
that when you apologize and then follow up with the word "but" or "however," you have just negated your apology.
Nah. So
There,
this, let me give it to you. Let me give it to you.
I'm just saying
Because
that was what I was told from by men.
uh-huh.
That ain't
Nah,
coming
let
from
me,
me.
I hear you, but let
Okay,
me, I'm
Said
gonna
when
just
you
give it to
say
you.
I
Let,
apologize, but you
let
just
me give
canceled
you
your apology.
let me give you what I'm saying, because as far as like the situation, I feel like the situation went too far, and I feel like I took it too far. So I can absolutely apologize. But sometimes though, we do gotta like look into some of these situations and how far that a decision can take you, and how far, and when a decision is not only affecting you but it's affecting your kid. It's one thing, right, for me to be in a situation where I don't know how to deal with it, so I react like fucked up, right? So my reaction is fucked up because I don't really know how to deal with the situation in the moment. So it makes sense for me to apologize, but that don't negate that the situation and what was going on in that situation, the effect that is not only having on her, but it's also the effect that that situation is having on her baby, because it become a thing that you do over and over and over and over and over and over again. I don't want to give her apologize to say it's cool to do that, or it's cool to move in that way, because I completely disagree with the
So
whole situation and the system and the way that it was going. I
the
completely
apology
disagree.
was only the timing and the approach. It wasn't the message. So
Right.
it was just timing and approach. So now that you have explained yourself, just apologize for what she asked you to apologize for. Timing and an approach. That's it. She the message was cool. That wasn't the problem. The problem was the timing and the approach.
But you
So
got to make that clear.
she did. I heard it loud and clear. Tony, your pride didn't hear it. Now,
Yeah, she
follow
want me
up,
to
Tony.
well,
apologize. I
Listen,
so
Tony.
apologize.
okay, so I could say I could honestly ask you to apologize for the message because it was like you read it wrong. Because in a sense, you was feeling like basically I needed to do everything for my kid, and everything was basically up to me. And what wasn't explained to you is basically like, okay, his dad get this birthday this year, then next year it's on me to get this birthday. And that program wasn't explained to you. And I feel like at the time it didn't need to be explained. And I was just asking you to basically do something, and you came off wrong with the whole situation.
Apology?
I'm gonna leave it
Only
alone because that's gonna go. That
only an
that
apology.
that'll be a non-ending conversation, because you're right. But if I don't know and I respond to something that I don't know, it's kind of like apologize for not being informed. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
you can
For not
apologize
being
for not being
informed and
informed.
not
No,
being
and that's the only reason why I said apologize for it is because when you approach the situation, I said, Dad, not right now. It's my son's birthday. And I understand basically where you're coming from, but not right now. And you kept on basically, I felt like you was antagonizing, but I kept trying to get at the conversation. And I was trying to explain to you, not right now.
Mr. Tony.
I'm leaving it alone. I'm apologizing. I'm letting it go. I don't want to go too much. I don't want to go too much deeper into it.
Okay.
What about you,
When you
Tina?
No, no, because usually it won't. When we just like the times we fell out, not even recent, because we ain't really fell out too recent, but like a year or two ago, when we start back, like I come around, we actually talk about what happened and basically resolve it right then and there. And if we both gotta apologize for something, I think we both have. We always talk about our like mess be too big, so we always talk about it.
yeah. Me and Bree talked about that a little bit too, but we got to talk about that offline. I feel like that's a conversation we got to have offline because
Um, no,
situations
no,
like
we
that.
don't. No, okay, so we really didn't have to talk about it. I just felt like you just didn't apologize for it. Like after we was talking about it, you just never apologized. That
And he
was it.
still haven't apologized. I'm still waiting on it.
And just for the record, I text her the
So
next goddamn day or two
Boy, you
days
is
later.
tough, boy. That
No,
is a
because
Leo trait.
listen,
It is
listen,
such a Leo
because
trait,
I
bro.
absolutely
Just
apologize to her.
apologize.
No, this is what I'm saying. I absolutely apologize to her
Okay.
after that
And
situation.
that's it. End of question. Go ahead, Nat.
um just to keep it from going too deep, I won't speak on the other stuff. And I feel like we had a conversation about that. But I would say the time where it was a situation and you thought that I went and said something that and started some stuff up and I didn't. And when you found out who really did, you didn't necessarily apologize. We didn't talk. I did have you blocked. Um and then you just had one of my uncles call me to come over for your birthday, and but you never like really apologized. You just talked about like accepting you for who you are and stuff like that, but you didn't apologize for talking to me how you was talking to me when I truly didn't do nothing.
Right, because in that situation, I wasn't wrong.
She said
If
she
I
didn't
didn't
do it.
say
She
something,
said
you
she didn't
was
do it.
wrong, and they told you that I wasn't the one that said it, and you just didn't
No, I did. No,
apologize.
I did apologize for that part.
No,
But
Dad, you didn't
listen, that
apologize.
because
You
listen, that shit where that shit had went to, it was based off my opinions and my feelings about something that you automatically supposed to respect. Like if I put something on the floor and it don't actually have nothing to do with you personally, and you find yourself caping for somebody else, your feelings for somebody else, that's wrong. You can't because you don't want me to do that to you in no situation ever. You don't never want to give me something solid. You don't ever want to give me something, man, where you saying, Dad, this is how I feel about this. I know you don't agree. I know it ain't for you, and I know how you feel about that person, but this is how I feel. The only thing you want me to do is respect your feelings and your emotions in that situation, right?
Mhm.
No matter what. So I'm asking when I ask you the same thing, because if don't nobody know nothing about me, you do. So when I have a moment and I approach it and I approach you and your feelings get hurt for somebody else because how you feel somebody else might take it or what somebody else might think about it and you overreact about it, that's kind of foul because in that
But
moment
I didn't overreact. I didn't say anything.
you did overreact. You
No,
overreacted.
no. I reacted. I gave you what you gave me when you sent me the text message,
No, I'm
and
saying
I responded.
the whole reaction. The
Yeah,
whole
the whole.
reaction.
I left it alone.
So,
I didn't care.
so was she accused of something?
What
No,
was it?
Of
no,
saying something?
No, not
So were you accused of saying something?
Basically,
ultimately in midway through the situation.
So she
Midway
was
through the
accused.
situation.
She was. So she is saying she was
So I'm
accused.
so okay. I'm apologizing for accusing you of saying something that you didn't say. But for
Bam.
but for that,
No, leave it right there. Leave it
nah,
right there.
because
That was
I
the
this
apology
the part
talk.
I don't like about it. This the part I don't like about it. Don't put me in no blender in a situation where you kind of owe your part too. Like sometimes it's cool to open up a conversation with an apology so you can get the apology that you deserve because I didn't start that situation or create that loud,
well, I didn't
obnoxious
either.
situation. You absolutely did. You
I didn't.
absolutely did.
How? In what way did I start it?
Because I got a phone call, Dad, this is what's going on. Should I do it or should I not do it? No, you should not. Right? No,
Mhm.
you should not. And me saying, no, you should not offended you. It offended you, but it wasn't about you. And you know what it was about, and you know the situation, and you know everything that goes
I just
around the
said that's
situation.
messed up, and I left it at that.
That's not what you just said. That's what I'm telling you. I know everything that you said in that moment. What I'm saying is, it like,
I said that's messed up. And then her response was some other stuff to another situation. And I said that don't make sense for you to be able to do this and not that. She said you didn't want to do that either. I said that's crazy. That was it. That was all. I didn't go ballistic. I didn't say, oh,
but
he bogus for this and
but
that.
that's what I'm saying. It's
I
something
didn't
else.
do that. And
Some
again, no, listen though, Dad. Again, somebody told you that this is how a conversation went. I told you that that's not how it went, because it's not, and you still took it and ran with it. So I'm still being accused of starting a situation that I myself did not start. The person who is calling and asking this and that and making it seem like she just dead couldn't do. That's what that was. That part that you just said, you were called and asked, should you do this or that? That was never given to me. That was never given to us. We didn't
but
even, I don't, we didn't know
right.
that part
But let me
until
explain
now.
something. Let me explain something, right? If you start a fire, right? If you like the wick right here at the door, right? And then you catch the wick midway because you feel like the shit going too far and you stomp it, but the fire don't go out and it goes further into the room and it goes further into the room and the next thing you know, the whole room is on fire. That's kind of it should have never went past me saying to if two of my daughters is in one room and I have a conversation with one and the one transfer the conversation to the other, it shouldn't go no further than that point. Not saying that what the other one is saying is 100% correct. Not saying what you saying is 100% incorrect. What I'm saying is if I say something to you based off of something that you already know how I feel and what I think and the whole collective know, like when it come down to this situation, that's how my dad feel. And in that situation, if you cross that line, or if you allow that line to be crossed, or if you and if you get offended, that's I take that personal because you supposed to know. Like sometimes it's cool to have my back, and it don't matter if you this is your other parent or this your other side of your family. Sometimes it's absolutely cool to just have my back and be like, yo, that's how my dad feel. Leave that shit alone. So when it come to when it get deeper and it get deeper, and I'm getting another phone call, and even with that situation, I didn't just call you. I also called Stink, and that shit got nipped in the bud immediately. But your emotions that you had already had invested in it, it allows you to take it further instead of just nip it in the bud. Because as soon as I got off the phone with the one, I called Stink. And as soon as I got off the phone with Stink, I called you. You let it linger. You showed me your feelings. You got to remember, I'm your dad. So you showed me your feelings when you didn't respond because I know how this thing worked. So the whole day went past, and then
Your
it's
message to me was that you was done with me and stuff like that.
no,
You
my
took it
message. Listen,
entirely
listen,
too far,
listen. My
and that's
message.
when I
Listen,
responded.
listen,
I
listen,
don't think
listen.
that, but that's
No,
why
listen. My message came after my call that you ignored. Is so now. if you activate an emotion or if you activate a feeling, and then the person tell you the feeling or the emotion that you activated, because it was a situation that could have been nipped in the bud right there in that moment, right? So the automatic resolution, stink. Now you know how I feel about this situation. That I already know. This ain't about that. I ain't on that, right? So I called you to have the same conversation just so we won't be fighting. You didn't allow me to extend that olive. You didn't allow me to extend the olive branch in that moment to actually nip that situation in the bud. Which you took that away, and that was based off your reaction and your feeling about how you felt about the situation entirely. So if the other person involved in the situation lying to you and you feel like they lying to you and they saying something different, don't put that on me. Clear me, right? We've been going through this for a long time since y'all was kids in different situations. As far as my relationship concerned, as far as my family concerned, when you feel a certain way and you're dealing with a certain situation and you don't just clear me and you don't just pull up on me and say, Dad, this is this, and we need to deal with it. And then later on down the line, it becomes something else. So I'm in a moment where I'm not finna let this shit get out of my hand. I'm not finna let this shit get out of control. And then you like the number one in the situation, you the big dog in the situation. When I approach you in that situation, let's just have that moment and clear it and get it out the way. But if you don't let me clear it and it's a conversation being had, and as you're having the
You could
conversation,
have still texted me the same
no,
thing you were going to say on the phone. If I
no, I
missed a
can just
call, you don't know if it was I purposely missed the call. If I was in the bathroom, if I was handling my kid, you don't know. You took one missed call and you sent a text message speaking the way that you were speaking. If you were going to be calm on the phone call with me, then you could have been calm in the text message with me, because that's still a form of communication. That means I did not block you and I'm still willing to talk to you. But you came at me negatively, so I gave back negatively.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. As it defeats the purpose of having this conversation because you're gonna make it work the way it need to work to fit you right now. I don't think you just heard nothing I just said. You
I
just took
did.
you just took everything I said and then you made it fit to what you was originally saying in the beginning. You just made it fit. What I was saying is I approached the situation because that's a situation where I speak to you. It's not a situation where I text you. It's not a situation where I go back and forth and do all this and do all this. This is a situation where this is what I say to you. Because when I originally called and said something to you, I didn't say nothing to you. I didn't text you back until I had a whole nother argument based off something that somebody else was saying. In that moment, same text I sent to you, I sent to State. State called me immediately. Dude, you bugging. Like it's okay to just say how you feel about me being wrong or about how I feel in the moment, other than like going into a place of like, no, because this whole argument is based off me having an opinion or me having a feeling about me and my babies in a situation where if I had this conversation, I'd had this argument with damn near everybody in y'all family about y'all. I done had this conversation with y'all about everybody in y'all family over y'all getting into our shit. I done had this argument a million times. Like if I speak to you directly about my babies, whatever conversation that me and you need to have, let's just have it. But it ain't for nobody else. It ain't no argument for nobody else. It ain't no conversation with nobody else. So if you feel a way and you're not even allowing me to get through to you to actually deal with it because you know how I feel right now. The whole day then went by. The whole day went by. It's a whole conversation that's being had on the other end, and I'm privy to the whole conversation as it's going, which means I really want to get through to you so you can know that I know the conversation is going on. I'm trying to nip it in the bud. But then now it's then got to another place where somebody else is saying their feelings and their emotions about the situation. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with her? So now I'm there. Now I'm there. But we had that whole day to stop me from getting there between me, you, and Sting and Daytona. We had that whole day to deal with that situation and stop that situation from becoming what it became. And the other side is so many levels and there's so many layers to it because the main layer to the whole conversation is you know, right? You know. You know without a shadow of a doubt, whether you like it, whether you disagree with it, whether you understand it, whether you want to understand it, when it come down to that situation, you know. It ain't no, yo, why would he do that? But he don't want to do this. That's a redundant question. You just know, right? And sometimes if a situation unfolding and I'm trusting my baby with you, but I don't want my baby in a certain room with certain people when I'm not around. You can absolutely disagree with that. You can absolutely not be on my same side or feel like what I'm saying is right or wrong. But if my baby is with you and I say I don't want my baby in the room with a certain person by themselves, then your job is to protect me too. It's to protect my baby too. You my daughter. So she shouldn't be in that room with that person alone. Now, if that person is offended, that person might be offended. Yo, I don't. This ain't how I feel. This ain't what I'm doing. This is how my dad feel, and this is the way my dad wanted to go. So I'm not gonna cross that line and like disrespect my dad or put my dad in no situation or put my dad in a family situation in his own home between him and his baby because I'm trying to serve an obligation to you because I got an obligation to you and my dad. That's all I'm saying. So it's when these situations come up and I get asked the question and I say, yo, no, and it's an argument, right? So if I get caught up in that argument, I probably was wrong, and I could apologize for getting caught up in that argument. But that shouldn't have been an argument. And in a lot of these situations and a lot of these conversations, they shouldn't be arguments because they could be situations that be approached. Me and Tiana had a long conversation. We had the last time we were sitting over there by my house, you sitting in the car, we was arguing, we going back and forth, and we going back and forth. Nigga, we got to start nipping our shit in the bud before it start becoming these big ass things. So now, when it's a situation with me and Tiana, we nip that shit right in the bud immediately. Even if I'm going through my shit because I'm the way I am sometimes, and I understand. So now, as my kid who understands, she like, nigga, you bugging. And we can get past it and we can have a conversation. But if you find yourself in a situation where you feel so right that we can't nip it in the bud, but it's a basic understanding between me and you that we already have. This ain't about your feelings no more. And a lot of times we got to be able to take our feelings, our personal feelings, out of shit that don't be having nothing to do with us. Because it wasn't about your feelings. It wasn't about your emotions. It wasn't about what nobody else think. It ain't about what nobody else see. It's about me saying, this is what's best for my baby in this moment. And this is the way I want this situation to go. And I just feel like if it's you, if it's Tiana, if it's Brianna, or if it's Daytonia, in that moment, just give me that. Don't let nobody walk you on the other side of the line. Don't let nobody say nothing else because then my anger goes from 0 to 100, right? Because your anger work just like my anger work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bree, Antoinette, all our Tiana, all our shit work the same way. So you know once you cross that barrier, I don't have that level of control that the average people might have when it come down to that line. I don't cross these lines with nobody. I don't disrespect nobody lines with y'all as my kids. I don't disrespect none of y'all shit unless I feel like y'all threatened, somebody harming y'all, somebody hurting y'all. I do not get into
Nobody.
y'all business at all. Neither one of y'all. I don't get into y'all business. I'm not trying to dictate how y'all have y'all relationships. I don't try to dictate like how y'all deal with y'all kids. And if you say, Dad, I'm gonna drop my son off, but I don't want my son over here or I don't want my son over there. It's my job to make sure your son is not over here or over that. I'm obligated to do that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when that shit goes all the way into an argument, it's a level where you gotta like have some type of accountability instead of saying pointing out all the things that I did wrong and leaving out the absolute part that there was a level of accountability for you to hold in that situation instead of picking through what I'm saying and fixing it and rounding it up to make it fit your narrative in that moment. Because I'm not saying you're 100% wrong, but in that moment, you owe that to me to just respect that line. And when you don't respect that line and I go from 0 to 100, it's almost like you should expect it because that's what I expect from you, type of thing.
I hear you. I don't feel like I was wrong though.
See,
That's just how I feel. I don't
See?
feel like I did nothing.
see.
Well, on that note, it is 8:34 p.m. I do have to
Yeah, I
go.
got to get up out of here.
Yeah.
We done it for too long, so I'm gonna slide up out of here on that note. And until next time, love you, ladies.
Love you too.
Dad.
All right, all right, Doc. See you when we
See
pull
you
up. I got,
later.
huh? What you say?
I was talking to her. I said, "See you later. Thank
Ah,
you for being here and part of it."
Yes, thank you for having me. Everyone have a
okay.
good night.
We got to set. What you got going on Saturday?
Who me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't hang up. I finna end this and give me like 2 minutes after this thing. I want to hang
Okay.
this out real quick. Don't hang up, Doc.
Okay.
Let's play a game of would you rather. Yeah, like would you rather. Yeah. Let's free up a day, free up a space. Let's talk about the truth the way we know it. Let's make a play. This our reality, okay? Okay. We out here with some savage beats, okay? If you want it, you can have a piece. Effort come with automatic peace. Just be careful if you slip, you know the ladder's grief, okay? Open discussion, who you loving, who you trusting? Is it lusting when you busting? Is you still crushing? Was it something, is it nothing? Did you cuddle? Did you up and grab your clutch and was befuddled? Do you still love him? Is your relationship 100, or is it 50-50? Do you be talking shit, or do you sit and listen? Are you a real friend or a transaction system? Listen, do you be copping flowers? Do you open doors? Is you looking for a real woman? Is you content with whores? Do you be on your money? Do you take care of your kids? Do you stand on your business, or do you wait on your chick? Let's talk about our mental health and protecting it.